Hey guys, welcome back to another Tech Talks video. And I know I haven't really been uploading in a while, but of course I'm finally back with another video. And this video is actually a chatbot which I've made in Java, and this is the second part of it. So if you haven't really watched the first part, you can go and watch it before you continue watching this. The You could find the video in the I on top below, or even if you don't find the I right now, you can find it down in the link in the description below. It'll be the top link, and you can also go ahead and check out my other videos. Now before we start off, you can also consider subscribing and liking this video, and also share the video. Now the main reason why I've made this video is because on the first Java project video, someone had commented that they wanted me to show them how we could actually add a little date and a timestamp kind of a thing. So that's what I did. I actually came up with what you wanted. So that was actually, I just wanted to show you guys, and I can always help, and I'm always there for you. But anyways, let's move on. So this is actually a little small than the actual code we made. And that is because I actually removed most of the parts from the code so that it's easier for you guys to understand. So before we actually continue, I'm just going to close this. And the normal project which we made, the first one, didn't really have this line, and it didn't either have these and a few more stuff that I've added to it, and some common content that I've removed, which you can add by referring either to the previous part, such as these blocks, or a different part. Now, before we actually continue further, I would like to let you know that only a small percentage of my viewers are subscribed. So please consider subscribing if you like the video. It's free and you can always change your mind. Anyways, let's move on. So right now, let's see what I've added first. So let's actually have a quick recap of the previous video. So we actually added a default message over here in case the user did not understand, and over here we had to terminate the program if the user said bye, and that's how you make running false, where you're running the program when it's running true, of course. And it also says hello there for saying hello. Now of course there were many more code blocks that we had back in the original project, but I've been changing my systems from quite a few days, and I've actually lost the original code, but I've managed to find it, and I've also removed a lot of part from it so it's easier for you to understand in small size code. Now I will also be putting the source code in the description below so you can check it out from there. It's free, and over here, so you're running the whole thing inside a while loop, and there's nothing else outside the while loop, like no output or something. And over here it just says a hello, so that's just a greeting message. So the request that I received is that the person or the chatbot is supposed to be showing a timestamp after each and every message. So I haven't really made it that way, but I will be showing you how you can do that. So as you guys know that in the previous video, we did not have import java.text.simpleDate format. So in this video or in this tutorial, I'm just going to be using simple date format. So you can only import simple date format, or you can also import the entire text library by just putting import java.text.star. So we're not using that right now, and let's move on. So then we have the utility package, and then we have a class, and we have a public, we have the void main, and we actually have the scanner class over here, so it's the same thing. And over here there's something new. So in this, what I'm going to tell you is in just a second. The string is a variable that I'm taking. Of course, the data, it's a data type, and timestamp is the variable which is a string data type, which means I can also store letters, sentences, and whatnot in it. And then we have new simple data format, which is a new object, or actually it's a new time stamp. Okay, so let's take it in this way. So you need a timestamp. So let's assume that you're gonna have to put a sticker of the time of the current live time on your messages as the bot keeps going on and on. So what are you going to do for that? So we're going to consider the new simple date format as a new sticker, which is going to be giving us a date in this pattern, and it's going to be showing us the format. This is for getting the format of this. All right, and this is the get instance of the calendar, which is a format, and here's dot get time, which is for getting time from your system. All right, so let's once again try to understand the thing in simple easy terms. So it says string timestamp. We're initializing string timestamp, which is timestamp is being initialized with data type string, which means it can hold absolutely anything from numbers, letters, sentences, and whatnot, even special characters. Now we're making a new. So when do we actually use new? So we use a new word only when we need to make a new object, right? Simple. So next we have the simple date format. So this is the object that we're making right over here. It's not exactly how you make an object, but we're going to consider this as an object or as a sticker. And over here, we're going to be telling, or we can define this as what comes inside the object or the sticker. So this is the pattern. This is exactly the pattern, or this is how it's going to appear for you. Now you must be thinking, what is dot format and calendar dot get instance? So calendar dot get ins and dot format over here. Just a quick telling this real quick. So dot format is actually letting you apply this format, and this format is absolutely changeable. So if you actually want to place month in place of date, you can go ahead and make it month date and just like that. So I'm going to be preferring the date month here and then the hour minute second, which is normal standard. And over here dot get time is used for getting the time from your system, and calendar dot get instance is used for getting the calendar or the date from your system. So it actually imports the whole calendar of today. So it's going to import your today's date, and you're using dot format to form it up and this way, and this is what is going to actually print. So you notice it's in double quotation marks, and then you end it with a semicolon with the whole thing being in brackets or parentheses. And then we have system.out.println, hello there, I'm chatbot, which is a greeting message. And then we have the boolean value, it's running true. We know that, we discussed that in the last video. And then we know all of this part. Now what's the next thing that I've actually added? So over here I'm just gonna keep an empty box, and then I'm taking input from the user. All right, next is I'm taking the input, which equals to I'm taking string input equals se dot next line, right? So it's going to take a huge line, and whatsoever the user is entering is now being stored into input. Now what's going to happen next? What is this line of code supposed to do? I'll come to it in just a second. Before that, I would like to tell you one thing. So previously the issue we had was that the user had to enter everything in either small letters or starting with capital letter, or a particular order that we set over here. This line over here is just going to change the whole perspective. So assuming that you write what is your name, you can write any letter capital, small, as per the user's wish or your wish. And the whole thing will be converted to lowercase. As you can see, the code specifies input dot to lowercase. So this is another command that we're going to be using to convert the input or every single letter of the variable or data type input of the variable input, and we're going to convert everything to lowercase, and that means the small letters and not the capital letters. And then we can actually use this in all the small letters. That means we don't really have to worry about in what format the user is entering. So whether it's capital or small, we don't really have to care about that. And then we have a default message. That means if he's entering something we haven't really prepared yet, he's going to get to know that. All right. And now coming back to the time part. So what if you now, of course, you're going to have to print the time. You're not going to get it simply. So over here, you notice I've put a new line of code which says, what is the time? So I'm going to enter what is the time, and it's supposed to be giving me the time. So system.out.println, and then it's actually showing you. All right, so this is something that is not really necessary. Okay, this is optional. I've put this for the reference of the person who views it, and we will be coming to that in just a minute. And over here, I've actually put system.out.println and timestamp. So all I'm doing is just printing timestamp, and I'm assigning timestamp to the new simple date format, which means it's a simple format of the date, and I'm getting the date and time from the calendar.get instance and .get time. That is how simple it is. So you just need to apply this little one line of code. Now, what if you only want the time? So all you have to do is format dot get time instead of calendar dot get instance. Calendar dot get time instead of calendar dot get instance and calendar dot get time. So you could just consider removing this code if you just want the time. All right, and that is only good amount of changes that I've made into this program, and actually it has kind of reduced a lot of work. Alright, so you don't really have to worry about the user entering in any format, whether it's capital or small. You don't really have to worry about having the time being uploaded every now and then, because every time the user asks for the time, it's uploaded from your system right over here. If you notice, that is exactly how easy it is. It's just 37 lines of code, which is honestly, it's going to be less. It's going to be like around 20 if you're going to just remove these brackets, considering the actual main logic part of it, which is actually this part and the time format right over here. So that was it for this part 2 of the tutorial. If you actually enjoyed it, please consider subscribing, liking and sharing this video, and I will see you in the next video, which will be coming out really soon. Also, if you guys actually think I should be making more videos or making more changes into this or adding something, you can always feel free to comment down below like the previous person did on the last video, which is why I made this video. So I'm always there to help you. I can help you with almost anything you want in the project such as this one. You can also ask me about any other projects and I can see if it is actually within my limits or within my reach, and I will obviously surely I will help you out. And that's it for this video, and of course I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.